So the best case scenario would be not to do anything at all to the Hulk, because it's not even necessary. But it's always human nature to try to, make something more appropriate for what you want it to be. One guy I was looking on the forum was like, oh, he started the project, and then at the very end he was like, well, I decided not to do it because it's going to cost me way more than what it's worth for that bike. I've already spent this and that on different mods, and it's going to cost this and that for the rim. At the end of the day, I could probably buy another bike for that price. I feel that. I'm going to try to keep the price down on the tire modification. Okay, everything's tight. 1 quart of the Valvoline motorcycle 4-stroke 20W50. No guessing about this kind of stuff right here. Tells you right there in the label it's good. Like I said, I tried that Valvoline Blue for a while and it was good, but when I put that Castrol Racing 20W50 in here, it was even better. I expect the same sort of results from this oil. So I usually do a bunch of measuring, and I'm like, oh, I'll put too much. Everyone says, just put a quart in there. Just throw a quart in there. I'm gonna hold back just in case there was some oil sitting in the engine somewhere. I'm gonna hold back just a smidgen, and we're gonna see. It don't matter. What the hell? I'm still always more impressed with my Hawk the way it sounds than most of the other ones I've heard anyway, so I do it my way. I was listening to someone who just recently did some work on their Hawk and they adjusted the valves or something. It was like, how does it sound? And that sucker sounded like the little drummer boy was. Someone was like, sounds good, run it, send it. I'm like, dude, give the guy some good advice and tell him it sounds like shit. I mean, he got a bunch of likes and probably a couple cares. I mean, no one went to tell him it sounded like shit. I think that's the most thing with the problem with that. People go to adjust those valves and they have the wrong filler gauge. You gotta be exactly precise. 0.002 millimeters. Don't try to guess at 0.05 or none of that kind of stuff. Make sure it says 0.002 millimeters right there. It's a lot smaller than what you would think. You'll get one and you'll be like, oh, the valves are tight. They were too tight from the beginning. I think the thing is you put the wrong filler gauge in there in the beginning and you're like, oh, you start loosening them up and you just assume they were too tight. Then when you find the right filler gauge and you get it correct, you don't even really know. That's what I did. I started with the wrong filler gauge. Went back, thought I had the right one. It was the wrong one again. What am I looking at? And finally, it still looks like it's low. About where it was when I started, maybe. And we held back like maybe 25%. Have you ever seen anyone fill up the oil and not put the plug back in before they fill it up? Or they start talking like I did and didn't tighten it up before they put the oil in? I've heard stories of people leaving Midas or Carx or wherever, some of those places like that, and then they run a car that sound like crap, and then they go find out all the oil was running it ran out, and they don't know how long it's been, and like, oh well, you waited too long to come back. Well, I didn't know when I left you didn't put the plug in there. And then sometimes when they get back publicity, they pay for it. You're gonna roll with that, y'all. Is there any more just hiding in there? I'll drop one drop. That's a record. One drop. I didn't spill a whole big old chunk of mess where I had to grab sand underneath. I'm talking too soon. I spilled another drop on top of this thing. It's usually when I'm like, oh, let me get everything out of the way, and then I'll kick it or something and everything oil's everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. before I keep talking and make a mistake. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Things like to get stuck in there. Even this thing likes to get stuck in it there if you don't put it in there perfectly straight. And you're like, oh shit, it's stuck. And you try to get it out and you have to wiggle it, jiggle all around. There we go, got it in there straight. I'm not even gonna check it. It's a waste of time at this point. I've done it before. We know what it's gonna be like. You can go ahead and look at the sighting glass. Experience counts. For all you guys that's been riding bikes a long time ago, just started riding bikes, been riding bikes for a while now. Now where experience don't count, if you used to ride a bike 30 years ago, and all of a sudden you get on a Hawk, and you say, I'm about to roll, and you don't bother getting yourself a helmet or some gear yet, and you just take off. That kind of experience don't count. You know, you need some, oh man, it's looking good. It's like right at exactly, maybe around 1/2. And it's clear, like gold. Looks great. Gold like this, gold trim here. Can't wait to start her up. Pull that off again. I'm gonna take it easy on this spark plug and look at getting a option. Is that it? Let's see. 5/8. Take out this old E3 and let's take a close-up look at that. If it's damaged at all, like as far as burn on the tip, you're gonna go immediately and buy a different type of spark plug. You guys will see for yourself. Oh, looks nice. A little white. I'm not an expert in examining spark plugs. It's a little black here, but when I took the one out, the original one is only in there for a short time. It probably didn't look any better than this. A little tanning there, not much. So these don't require any kind of gapping. Just open up. So what I mean about the electrode, or this thing right here, they come with that, which is standard for most spark plugs. You can see where I ripped it a little bit, messed up the threads. Just want to get some needle nose or something and unscrew that. I've done this before. Just experience of hanging out together. So this is gonna help if I use. Will that fit in there? Won't fit that way. Use another pair of pliers to grip it. Only brought one pair with me. Or a wrench. 5/8 wrench. It's a little stubborn at first. Quick examination, it looks great. Some people use some anti-seize on their spark plugs. You're not gonna leave this in there long enough for it to get seized. There we go. New spark plug. 1/4 turn. We'll go back with the 5/8. First snug it down. I'm gonna move it over. There we go. New spark plug. Fresh oil. I just took it off the battery tender. Niche. I got a Niche battery, tender. You can find Niche everything on Amazon. And I just unplug. I got a connection directly to the battery where I plug in the accessories. Just can disconnect that and plug this right in there. Thanks for watching. Let's see what these lights can do while we're out here. Get them to a little. Got the. Oh shoot. It's the LEDs. That's why no people can see me at night when I'm riding with these. All kinds of funky stuff. What color should I go with? It looks like the cops right there, like, woo! Purple rain, baby. Oh no, the red looks like they can see you at night. It's not too bright. Pretty bright. I'm gonna go with that. The running lights. All right.